you've referenced education in virtually all your responses so far, and you were a former education minister in Nigeria. You said today that education will be the new oil if you become elected president. Can you tell us what exactly are your plans for that sector of the economy?
So number one plan is going to be looking at the issue of access quickly. Today we have more than 13.5 million out-of-school children. That is the equivalence of the population of some of our neighboring countries, you know, and that's a time bomb. So we need to look at access quickly. And so we would work with the states to identify where we have this huge population. More than 50% of it is in the northern part of the country. There is a lot that we need to do. We also know that education is correlated to conflict and destabilization. And of course, we're beginning to see links between the lack of education and terrorism. So you need to address the matter of access. Access would also look at education from the perspective of the gender parity, ensuring that we no longer have for every 3 boys in school, there is 1 girl in school. We need to bring as much parity as possible in access. Then we have to focus very much on the vision for education. And my vision for education will be very much in the light of what we articulated when we said that education is meant to nourish the mind, to create a good society that competes globally. Education is to nourish the mind, create a good society that competes globally. So, and then the focus on compete globally ties back to what I said to you about productivity and competitiveness. We want to grow world-class human capital. We want to grow citizens that can take on the world and the best in the world. We want to be able to see that whether they are our primary school children, you know, today we call them basic school children, the ones in basic school or the ones in secondary school or the ones in the university, that when they are put to test on international systems of measurement, of learning, that our children will not be lagging behind. So how we're going to do that is very, very research-based. One thing that we know from research is that the quality of teachers is the most important thing that changes education in any country. In any country. So today we have teacher inadequacy problem, but even worse, we have teacher quality. Serious challenge. So what we're going to do is going to be innovative. We're going to take the teaching profession to the pinnacle of professions by looking at a multiplicity of approaches that would make teaching a noble profession again. And then we're going to make sure that teaching attracts the best within society. What has happened is that the lower percentile in terms of academic achievement and non-academic, but socially driven accomplishments go to teaching. So we've lost on both ends. We've lost quality people in terms of values. We've lost quality people in terms of cognitive capacity, intelligence. So we would make sure that teaching becomes the first thing that someone who is so very accomplished academically would think about, because of the pedestal that we would take it to. Tertiary level, part of what's important is for us to have quality faculties. It's the same thing as having quality teachers. You have the quality of the faculty of a university can determine where that university is placed in the global ranking. So think of it. The way that we're going to lead in the country is going to make our own the best that we have, even around the world. They would want to be connected to the rescue of education sector in this country. We would connect them. They don't even have to live where they are. We would have a global faculty of incredible Nigerians who are making themselves available for the purposes of enhancing the quality of faculty. I imagine a faculty of economics in a number of our universities. They would have access to the best of economic professors that are also Nigerians, or maybe not even Nigerians, but we don't want our standard to be lower than the standard of the best economics student anywhere in the world. So tertiary education is going to be very important for us. And in tertiary education, our approach is going to be to link it directly to the labor market. You know, as we do economic structural change, we're going to be finding the sources of growth for the economy. As you think of the sources of growth for the economy, you must immediately think of the kind of skills that must be deployed into it. And so for us, just paying attention to those kinds of details in a way that is analytically grounded is going to be key. For me, you know, I just live to see education gain the prominence that it lost in our country again.